Big Glow. Look, I told you, I'll fuck with Glorilla. The debut album grew on me too. Look, LYNX Live. I'm your host, Dame LYNX. Remember, love yourself. No exceptions. We about to get into some reality, so I hope you got something to drink, because we got some more entertainment news going on. Some more legal cases. I'm drinking a Cutwater. Look, y'all know how much I used to love strawberry Ritas, and then I had me a brief little Four Loko stint. I still fuck with a Four Loko and a strawberry Rita any day, but I have replaced those with Cutwaters. When I tell you it only take two to get you exactly where you need to go. Look, I love me a They got different flavors too. I'm drinking the Tequila Paloma tonight because I love me a good Paloma margarita or a mezcal. If you want to know, if you see me out, give me some mezcal or give me a good Paloma margarita or whatever. All right, let's get into some things. All right, so run on over to Potomac real quick. I'm sure you've heard by now Karen Huger was sentenced to 2 years for her DUI. She's set to serve at least 1. So she's gonna be locked up. She's definitely gonna be doing some time. This is Karen's 4th DUI. So a lot of people are really wanting to throw the book at her for this. And they're taking it serious. So we talked about this already. That camera footage came out of her being arrested that night. That was really embarrassing. She's fired her legal team. She's checked into rehab. So, she's trying to do what she can do to get that sentence reduced. Real Housewives of Potomac filming and reunion has wrapped. Really good reunion. Mia stormed out. We don't know what's Mia gonna do. Mia's the cash cow over there. And y'all gonna stop playing with my girl Stacey Rush, okay? I like me some Stacey. And if I see TJ, let me not put that on air. Our girl Candace is back outside. I know y'all seen Candace. She looks good postpartum. She dropped some new music. We love some Candace. So Candace is around here showing her face. She'll be back next season. She'll definitely be back, or the season after. But shout out to Candace. Candace is my favorite on Potomac. She's my favorite new era housewife. But we're gonna see what happens with Karen. We support the Grand Dame. Karen, I am right down the street. I will be your driver. I live right down the street from you. Let's hop on over to Atlanta. So you guys know about Portia Williams. She's back on Atlanta this season. Real Housewives of Atlanta has premiered the new season. Well, apparently her estranged husband, Simon, the one that she stole when she left from her co-worker, they're going through a divorce, which is why she's back. Makes sense. Well, he's been detained by ICE, and the rumor is allegedly that Portia called ICE on Simon. All this does for Portia is just continue to delay the divorce, which we're going to see that play out on Real Housewives of Atlanta this season. Season 16 has premiered. I'm feeling it so far. It feels fresh. It feels new. It feels very Love and Hip Hop and Basketball Wives vibe, which y'all know I love. Those are my two. Look, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Basketball Wives, any season that Evelyn Lozada's on. And then Real Housewives of Atlanta are my top 3 reality shows. And so I'm always going to watch these shows to the end of time. And so, but I like the show feels new. It feels fresh. I like the new girls. None of them have really left a full impression on me yet. Not enough for me to go follow them on Instagram or anything like that. But I like that the show feels completely different. Right, they're actually centering the show around Shamia, which a lot of people find surprising. And what was also surprising to me was how rich Shamia is. And I have not been fond of Messy Mia since she tried to pull that little game with my girl Eva, talking about she was sleeping with Missy Elliott. So I haven't really been fond of Shamia since then. But Shamia is rich. Her house is gorgeous. Her family is beautiful. Her husband is very successful. And I also like Shamia and Portia being the anchors of the show just because they're genuine Atlanta girls. So it makes sense for them to center the show around her. So we're following the season. I'm liking it so far. You guys let me know what you think. Do you like the new girls? How's it gelling? You know, they're basically deleting Kenya from the season. You know, Kenya had an issue while filming last year, which is why there was such a delay, because they've had to re-edit all the footage. They basically took Kenya out. So, and you know, Kenya is my second favorite housewife of all time, second to Kyle Richards, the queen of Beverly Hills. But yeah, I'm sad to see Kenya go. I want to see how the situation plays out with Kenya, because I need to know the truth. You know, they like to give my girl Kenya a bad rap all the time, and typically I'm on her side. But if she did what they say she did, I'm gonna have a problem with that. So we'll see what happens. Quick update on Wendy Williams. So she's been released from the home that she was being held in. You know, she couldn't go anywhere in that condo or apartment that she was locked in, that apartment building that she was locked in New York. So from what I recall, is she passed a note to someone requesting help, and then she was removed from there. They gave her a psych evaluation. Apparently she passed, you know, a competency test that says that she can handle her business on her own, which I think that the level of restriction that they're putting on her, I do think it's too far at this point. I feel that at a time within the last couple of years, we've watched Wendy kind of deteriorate, so we know how bad she was. And compared to the last time we saw her, compared to now, I think that we can ease up a little bit on her. So hopefully we'll get some good news, you know, with her being fully released and just back to her normal life, you know, with some restriction. We do want to keep an eye on her, but to lock her down the way they had her locked, shout out to TMZ again. Really great expose. We haven't had a good expose in a long time. Y'all know I'm old, because we used to have exposes. All right. Michael Jordan's son, Marcus Jordan, some footage came out about him being arrested, and he was detained for, I think he had cocaine on him. Don't quote me, because I don't have the article for this one. But the arrest video showed him being completely egregious and belligerent with the police. These arrest videos gonna get y'all every single time. Not that he was denying anything, but the footage, he was saying some really crazy stuff. And it makes me wonder what him and Larsa was really getting into. Because from that footage, he really knows how to party, if you know what I mean. So I'm glad Larsa got away from that when she did. She won't be wrapped up in this mess. All right. Okay, Lizzo. Update on the Lizzo lawsuit. You know, Lizzo has not spoken out about her lawsuit where she was accused of creating a hostile work environment, sexual misconduct, just putting her dancers in suggestive situations by 3 former dancers. She was sued like last year, the year before. I think we talked about that, and I hadn't really heard anything about it. So Lizzo's been hiding out, dealing with it. She's popped back out. She's lost a lot of weight. Lizzo looks great. And she mentioned, you know, how she dealt with the lawsuit, how she handled it, which I can imagine she was very hurt by that. I mean, anyone being accused of that in this climate, you're done just for being accused of it. So she says the lawsuit has been dismissed, you know, but the lawyer of the other party, they're saying the case is under review at this point, and Lizzo's name is still attached to it. So we'll see how that plays out. We should know something within the next few months as far as what's going on with Lizzo. But shout out to Lizzo, just getting back to herself. She looks good. She's lost a lot of weight, and she seems very confident. So, you know, Lizzo, we like Lizzo. Good musician, quality music, fun music. She ain't really trying to bother nobody. As long as she walking around with her clothes on, I don't have an issue with her. But I also know how to ignore Lizzo when she start doing too much. So Todd and Kandi. So Todd and Kandi, you know, they've got that steakhouse over there on Cascade called Blaze, right? So apparently the property managers are suing them for $150K in back rent and about over $50K in damages. So over $200,000. That was a thing that was filed. Kandi has responded to that. She said that this, what did Kandi say? She said there was actually a dispute between her and the landlord. Her name has been removed from the case, and she says they only put her name on that case for publicity. But her and the landlord her and the property manager landlord were having a dispute about things not being done, things not being completed, which is typical. You know, in Georgia, they let you do whatever you want to do in them units. You know, if the landlord's not doing what they need to do, you can withhold the rent and take it to court. So that's what's going on, and it makes sense. So shout out to Kandi and Todd for that. Well, not for that, but shout out to them because they got a development deal with NBC to develop shows. Also, Othello just dropped over the weekend, breaking history with the numbers. So shout out to Kandi and Todd. They doing the thing. And I see she got the hell away from Housewives, which I think it was a good decision. It was time to switch some things up over there in Atlanta. And Kandi's going to be successful at whatever she does. So she's going to make it happen, which is what I like. All right, so another story. Viacom is suing Nick Cannon over its Wild and Out concept. So, you know, Nick Cannon had something that happened a couple of years ago, which caused him to get canceled. Wild and Out dropped him. A lot of people dropped him. I forgot what it was that he talked about. So Wild and Out had been on that with Viacom for years. I didn't even know Wild and Out was still a thing. Well, when they dropped him, he went over to Zeus Network and he created a show called Wet and Wild. So they are suing Viacom. Viacom is suing Nick Cannon and Zeus Network for basically, I mean, they're not fucking with Zeus. They're basically stating the network is ghetto. The new version of the show tarnishes the legacy created by its predecessor. And you know what? I just want to know, how can I get a job writing these things up? I love me a good, nice, nasty email, a letter of some sort. Like, I need to know I need to know what's going on here. So and if you watch Wet and Wild, it's basically the same show. Like, I don't subscribe to Zeus because, for one, I'm not subscribing to anything else, and I just feel like Zeus is really kind of beneath me. You know, I like reality TV and ratchet TV, but Zeus is a little lowbrow. Unless they want to bring me on for something, I'll gladly take the call, because I heard Zeus be cutting a check. But Viacom is not fucking with it. So we'll see what happens with that. All right, so that's gonna be it for reality. We're gonna get into some more music and we'll be right back, because you know we gotta keep it PC.